Hey special family, welcome back to another video, Reddit edition. Today's title is Am I the A for refusing to let my autistic brother-in-law meet my daughters? I, 38, have been married to my husband for 14 years, together since we were 17. We have two daughters together, ages 13 and 9. My husband has an autistic brother who is fully disabled and taken care of by my mother-in-law. I haven't seen them since before I was married. I am fully aware that he cannot control his actions, which is why it is my mother-in-law to help him and do so. My encounters with my brother-in-law have been uncomfortable, to where he has exposed his private parts and played with himself in front of me, has tried touching me inappropriately on multiple occasions, where my mother-in-law just laughs it off. Say what now? Nah, let me read that again. No, it's that my brother-in-law has been removed from several public places, including church and grocery store, for these actions. My brother-in-law and mother-in-law have never met the girls, but they are moving back to our town. My husband and I have decided we didn't want brother-in-law around our daughters out of fear of this happening. When we told mother-in-law we didn't want him near our daughters, oh, hell gonna break loose. She was furious. She said he was their uncle and he needed to meet his nieces. Yeah, but my husband and I said we weren't comfortable with it and we don't want our daughters traumatized. She said that was outrageous. We just have to slap his hand away and tell him no. Say what now? You want to tell a 9-year-old and a 13-year-old to slap his thing away and say no? Are you serious? And that we were treating him unfairly because of his condition. No, baby, we're saving him to rest in peace. But okay, this isn't the case. We just don't want our daughters in any type of uncomfortable position. We, of course, wish they could meet their uncle, but under these circumstances, no. I just feel as though there aren't any other options. Am I the A? No, ma'am. You are never and will never be the A in this situation because your daughters come first. Your daughters are your priority. You and your husband are their protector, even against your brother-in-law. If your brother-in-law can't control himself, how can you tell a 9-year-old and a 13-year-old to slap his hand away after they've been traumatized? What if he decides, nah, I'm bigger than them. I'm going to do what I'm going to do regardless? Then what? Will she laugh that off too? I think she's being unreasonable. They can meet their uncle on Zoom. But let's see what the commenters had to say. First commenter says, comprehensive son, my husband has an adult son that is never allowed around me or our girls either. He is hypersexual. Everyone in the family thinks I'm a monster. He's hurt me in the past. Say what now? My husband can't 100% say we will be safe. It's his son. It's sad. But I put my bloody foot down. I don't care he's autistic. Just because he doesn't mean to hurt people doesn't mean it doesn't hurt or harm. Exactly. Good point. You are not the A, and I'm glad your husband is on your side, especially that part. Mine is torn and tries to convince me still, but I refuse to take those risks. Girl, you stick by it foot down. Oscar Travel said, ask your husband how he would feel if you were raped. That's the risk. Feeling bad for someone with a disability is one thing, but putting other people in harm's way because he feels bad is just ridiculous. Exactly. No Barracuda responded, who gives a ish how her husband feels? If she's not really on board with being R in the name of family unity, that's enough. Somebody else said, it sure is enough. Sorry to comment on top comment, but I feel like I should share my experience. Okay, let's hear it. In brief, I was inappropriately touched by an autistic fellow competitive swim team member who I was translating for while swimming myself when I was 13. I tried to stop it, but he was considerably larger than I was, and I was wedged between the lane rope and him. I immediately told my coach, and I was relieved of my translating duties and moved to a different lane henceforth. When my coach told his father in private, I could see them talking while in the pool, but private nonetheless. His father was glaring at me and still scoffed and glared at me until I graduated high school. Same school for middle and high. What the heck? I know that he didn't mean to scare or harm me, but it did leave a huge mental mark on me and for a while I would flinch when a guy got close to me. The point is, intention doesn't matter. Brother-in-law did it to OP, and he can do it to OP's daughters. It's not a matter of swatting hands away. Trust me, the girls will know if brother-in-law was trying to touch them or did touch them inappropriately. It's worse if they get traumatized at an age where they can't understand that brother-in-law didn't have bad intentions, and that would rather sour the relationship. Not the A all the way. Yes, girl. Tell her. All right? So Oceans of My Ancestor says, it's so disgusting to tell young children to just swat your adult uncle's hand away as if that's a good solution, right? Alert Professional says, I was repeatedly harassed at church by a man with Down syndrome and autism while I was in 3rd through 7th grade. It was excused away because he doesn't know what he's doing. I was treated like I was being mean and just not wanting to be around him. In reality, he was grabbing my arm, touching my breast, and sticking his tongue in my mouth. But he always waited until no one was in the room or eyesight until his physical assault. So I called bullshit as an adult. He knew what was and wasn't appropriate to attempt in front of people who would hold him accountable. I told my parents at the point when he was grabbing me, and they minimized my experience and shamed me. So I never told them about his escalation of fondling me and forcibly kissing me because I assumed they would have the same reaction. If you normalize someone actualizing your children and excusing it away, you run a strong risk of them not coming to you when something more serious is happening, because their internal messaging will be that they need to put up with it because that just happens. Oh, great point. This commenter says their insistence on excusing that behavior is why he was doing it in the first place. Autistic people need rules and structure. Amen, VG. And those rules have to be strict and predictable. Just laughing it off and saying he can't help it just tells him this behavior is acceptable. Keep doing it. What they should have been doing right from the beginning is you do this behavior and everything stops. We go straight home and you have to stay in your room for X amount of time. Here is the list of behaviors you're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to play with your groin in front of other people. You're not allowed to touch other people once they say stop or no. You're not allowed to take your clothes off in public, etc. Parent the child, not the autism. I get it. And it's the caretaker's responsibility to communicate those rules to others as well. That including such things is telling people you have to very clearly and loudly say stop when he does this and immediately inform me so I can take him home. He won't understand if you just nervously giggle and move away, but he knows the rules, and the rule is someone yells stop, he has to stop what he's doing immediately. I love this. Parent the child, not the autism. So this person said, it's not necessarily true that he knows what he's doing is wrong. I worked with severely autistic folk for a long time in residential treatment setting, and many did not understand boundaries. However, that only makes it more important that he doesn't meet OP's children. He also likely does not process or understand reaction to his behavior unless the reactions are extreme enough to scare him, which only would escalate his behavior. Stop, nip it in the butt, and they're moving back so brother-in-law could take care of him. But let me know what you think.